Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it is March 25th of 2023. Tomorrow's actually my birthday, so I will be 82, I think. This is being recorded on uh, oh, okay, the Dell 2 computer that costs $200. It's being recorded with uh, OBS. The camera is the Avery Media camera that's working. This computer over here is the mini link unit. So this is a new setup. Over there, it was over there. Over in that corner of the room, by the window, is the Verizon modem. And it's been too often. Anyway, I moved it around. You move it around for the best location. And I decided over there, and I moved furniture to raise it up by a window over there. And it's been occasionally dropping out for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm not sure how long in between, but it's doing it too often. So I moved it out of that corner over. Set this up here, see if you can see it. There it is. See on that refrigerator on the very top, in front of the red curtain, the white box is the modem. The light is okay right now, indicating that we've got a connection. By the way, the box underneath it's kind of gray. That's the Verizon box that it came in. Okay, back. Here in a few days, I think the 29th, we already got the thing in, so we're waiting now. We got the box in, voice over IP box, and we're waiting for the for Darlene's phone number to be transferred. And so about the 29th, we will be canceling Spectrum, doing away with their a little bit over $100 a month that we pay, and we will be going to. Well, we're already signed up for Verizon, and the first month they're not actually charging us $50, yes, but then for the next month it's going to be $159 because of whatever fees and things happened. And then it's going to be $50 a month after that. And then they've got some, they've got some good, good bargains. I forget what the amounts are. If you sign up with them so they don't have to send you something through the mail, a bill through the mail, they knock off every month. I forget what it is, $5 or $10. Here's something else. that they do, and so it looks like they got their act together, except for their website. Their websites. It's just amazing that some of these major corporations can have such terrible websites. They got these, I guess, these texts or whatever, and I guess they figure everybody can understand. Well, everybody knows that you have to go to this, click on that, and then you have to go over here and click on that, and then you click on this in order to click on that, or whatever. You'd think, hire some old man, some old, lady. They could work at a team or whatever, come in, or not come in, but go to a computer and see if they have, if they can figure it out. Use somebody, that's like me, not too smart. And I think I've used this as an example someplace, but probably most of you, you don't watch all these videos. I don't blame you. I was working at a small hospital. I worked there for security on the midnight shift, and real small hospital in my hometown. It was pretty neat because I worked there, I think 9 or 10 years, and then I could walk home. I could almost see where I lived from the hospital. Probably could have if I'd have gone to the second floor and looked down in that direction. I'm not sure. But anyway, one night in this very small hospital, very few people working there. We were like a family. It was really, really great. But anyway, the head nurse, supervisory nurse, that was in charge. And actually, I think it was that way. I think she went home at 2 a.m. in the morning or something like that. Now, she'd work over if they were having something really going on, she would stay over as long as necessary. But she came to me and she said, Jim, do you have a phone number for employees or home phone numbers and that kind of stuff? And I said, no. I said, I don't. I said, I don't know what the situation is now down at the main hospital. I know security, had a printed out, list of addresses, phone numbers, that type of stuff. And I said, since they've gone to the computer so much, I'm not sure what they have. And she said, well, I've got a nurse here now that's sick. And she's not going home or anything. She's going to stay, but she's not feeling well. And she says, I was thinking, if something happens, how do we get hold of some family or, something? If she's not able, somebody's not able. And she says, I think we should have, a list here. And I said, well, I agree with you, yeah. And she says, I'm going to, turn that in as that's one thing that we need out here. And so I forget how long it took, but now security, we had access. This corporation owned, when I started working for them, not the small hospital I was but they were part of but they added other hospitals and things. So in security, we had access to the computer. We could put our reports in there. I could call up a report. I worked at this little hospital. I could call up a report from any one of the other 7, 8, 9 hospitals that they owned. I could call up and see what security, and they could see what, Research Medical Center or Research Belton Hospital or whatever, what we had put in, stuff like that. So they set it up so that, security. So anyway, I got notified that when I came in or whatever, that I could log in. Here's how you log in to get into the list of employees. And so I tried it. Yep, the information was there. And then I went back later on and messed with it a little bit more. And then I clicked on something Now, they didn't list employees' names there, or in this part, but I could get into it. I could get into the thing, and it listed all the job positions and how much the starting pay was, how much the top pay was, and what the average pay that they were paying, that type of information. And so I called down, and like at the main hospital, data processing would have maybe 1 or 2 people working on the midnight shift. And I called down, and I got this guy on the phone, and I said, told him who I was, security at Research Building Hospital. Just got this thing, and he said, oh yeah. And I said, well, there's a problem. And he said, oh, what's the problem? And I said, I can access all the positions listed, not the people that are holding that, because there'd be more than one, like there'd be housekeeper 1, housekeeper 2, housekeeper. That was a position, and a pay grade, stuff like that. And anyway, I said, it shows me what the top pay is, pay ranges and stuff like that. And he said, oh, no, it doesn't. I said, oh, yes, it does. He said, no, it doesn't. You can't access it. And I said, are you sitting at a computer right now? And he says, yeah. I said, enter this, and I told him what to enter, I don't know, forget what, F2, hit space, hit whatever. And he goes, oh shit. He said, wow. He said, Jim, thanks a lot. We'll fix that and take care of it. I said, okay, just wanted you to know. So, what would happen, this is sort of another little, I wasn't intending to tell you this, but this is another little story from that. The main hospital, where I worked for 5 years before I went out to the small hospital, I worked there 5 years. Then I had to file a grievance when they built a new hospital out in my hometown, because the boss, the director of security, didn't want me to, get to go to that where I wanted to go. I guess I should have told him, whatever you do, don't send me to Research Building Hospital. And he would have sent me, I had to file a grievance, and won the grievance, so I got to go out there. Let's see. Oh, I know what it was. So anyway, at the main hospital, they had 25 security officers. It was in the bad part of Kansas City, Missouri. Bad. Kind of funny. I started out working hospital security at St. Joseph Hospital, an old hospital run by the Catholic Church and the nuns in Kansas City, Missouri. That was the worst area in Kansas City, Missouri. Gunshots. Out of the 10 security officers we had working there, in the 5 or 6 years that I worked there, we had 2 shot. One permanently disabled, and then the second one, John Galegas, shot and killed. He managed to shoot the guy that shot him. And then I went over to another hospital, which was 25 blocks away, and I worked there 10 years, I think, at that hospital. And it was on the same, street, really. But it was over west. And we didn't have as much trouble there, although we had a guy there who got hired in. And he ended up being a armed robber. And when he robbed someplace, he didn't leave anybody alive. Now, luckily, he didn't rob, a movie theater or a municipal auditorium or whatever. He robbed small places, but within sight of, in fact, he left the hospital for lunch or whatever and walked 1 block to an adult bookstore and robbed it and shot both the people that were there. And then he had other armed robberies that he made. And am I on this subject? Anyway, back to I had a reason for going there. And, oh, I know. Okay. Then I ended up leaving there, and I went to this other hospital, Research Medical Center, and I worked there 5 years, and then I went out to Research Belton Hospital, where I lived for 10 years. Then I ended up going to some other hospitals for them, and but altogether 30 years hospital security. But anyway, at this main hospital that was part of, where I worked for like 5 years or whatever before I filed a grievance and went to the place where I could be home in 2 minutes, So I worked at this main hospital where we had 25 security officers working there, but there was only 2 of us working out at this hospital. There was no security on the day shift. And so a lot of these guys who, working at the main hospital, they didn't really know me. They hadn't worked with me. They were, new guys. And so they would call out to pass some information on, And it happened repeatedly, They'd call out, Jim, I got a cascade report to pass on to you. I don't know why we have to call you guys out there. Nothing goes on, out at your place, and whatever. And then they would say, okay, such and such, they give the information, and I'd say, well, I arrested him out here looking at the computer, and that happened so many times that you would think that they would, And then when I went out there, when that hospital opened up, I was making more arrests than they were at the main hospital and the bad, But then that changed, especially it changed later on when, they had that when anyway, they got a police computer. When the police encrypted their stuff, the police department allowed, of course they had to pay, the hospital had to pay, but we had a police computer there. We could look up people, we could look up license tags and all that kind of stuff. But when that happened, then they were making more arrests than I was. Well, one, they were because I only had to deal with a few people out there, and once those people saw that I wouldn't put up with any crap, then they would, instead of bringing somebody in and causing trouble, they would drop the person off and sit out in the parking lot. Because when I would go out to check, then they'd recognize me, and they'd say, oh, Jim, we're waiting out here for so-and-so, William. I don't give the rest of his name. But, anyway, the main hospital, somebody would come in, and they would run him through the computer, and then they'd find out there's a warrant for his arrest, and the police would come, But not sure if I covered everything I wanted to cover. But how long have I been talking? It doesn't show unless I click on Adobe, OBS, that's it. And I've been talking for, where's the time on this thing? Oh, only 19 minutes, 20 minutes. So that's not long. Okay, thank you very much for watching.